Here we go. All righty. You are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. And why are the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching, hey, what's up, Jersey guys? Hey, Jersey guys in the house. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. And also, instead of me just like rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes or whatever, it's nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, that top link in the description box, every top link takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean the world to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And then finally, in the description box, there's 2 Facebook links. Top Facebook link takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. And I'll say this in every video. Right? My YouTube channel, Facebook group, Facebook page, which I'll go over in just a minute. It's pretty much all called the same thing. It's all like the New York Giants, the Gridiron. I dumb it down for a moron like me, right? I don't get them confused. Right? It's all the same thing. So I'm not like, what's my page called? What's the YouTube channel? Is the YouTube channel called something different than the group? It's all called the same thing. It's nice and easy. New York Giants, a Gridiron. So the group, what do we got? 4,400 members. I think yesterday we hit the 4,400 member mark. Usually what I do is after I get done going live, I'll spend like the next couple hours just putting stuff in the group and in the pages. And once again, I'll go over that in just a minute. I try to get up to at least 10 things every day. I put a bunch of things in here too already in the group. A lot of it had to do like with some pictures from the practice today that they had. So I put a ton of stuff in there already. And not only do I put stuff in there, but members put stuff in there as well. And I try to, whether I'm sharing an article, there's a picture right here that I got. Somebody had this shared in one of the groups. O.C. Yeoman sacking. I can't see what quarterback it is from the Cowboys, but he sacked some quarterback from the Cowboys. He's like leaning on top of him, looking down at him. So, but I said, it's a post, a picture, an article, a video, just something, just showing some stats on a ball player, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are my personal favorites, right? I get, I try to get at least 10 different things in there every day. And I said, not only do I put stuff in here, but members post stuff in there as well, too. So there's a ton of stuff going in there every day, 24/7. If I got internet access for the most part, every day I'm putting stuff in the group and in the page, which brings me to my page. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a page. I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one who posts anything in there, but it's the same thing. I 24/7, right? 365, pretty much. I put a ton of stuff in here every day. And what are we at here? We're up to 2,600 people who like it. And we're up to over 7,600 people who are following the page. It's really, really doing good. And I said, same thing here. Usually what I wind up doing is I'll spend the, after I get done going live, I want to spend in couple hours, next 2 hours or so, just putting stuff in the page and in the group, right? So whether it's a post, a picture, a stat, something making fun of the Cowboys, something making fun of the Eagles, which are my personal favorites, right? I'm getting stuff in there every day, 7 days a week, 365. I said, if I got internet access, stuff's going in there, right? And I don't commingle this stuff. So basically, for the most part, the stuff that I put in the page, I don't put in the group. Whatever I put in the group, I don't put in the page. So I said unless I say if I find something that's really funny that makes fun of the Eagles, and I'm just sharing that with everybody. But for the most part, I just try to keep the stuff separate. So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, pretty much 7 days a week, 365, right? You get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And of course, everybody can't be happy. Some people are just not quite happy. So, you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and you become a member. If you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money. You get your money back guaranteed. All right, well, all that stuff said and done, that away with. Man, tell you what we got here. Nope, Teddy's in the house. It's the New York Giants. Not the Nittany Lions. No, we're not. But we do got Saquon, who's the Nittany Lion. Tough for me to say, but oh yeah, I'll tell you what, man. They keep saying that it's. I don't know. Kind of, man. Man, it's just. I keep seeing in like the groups and all that stuff, like this stuff with Hyatt with his speed and everything. It's just wow. I don't know. I mean, it just makes you wonder. It's kind of scratch your head. I don't want to scratch my head too much because I won't have no hair left. But I mean, it's I don't know. I don't want to get too carried away. Is this guy too good to be true or something like Jalen Hyatt and all that? I mean, are we going to look back in a couple of years and it's like, man, those other 31 teams are freaking idiots for passing up on this guy. I mean, obviously the 5 touchdowns against Alabama. Is that a like a little sign? Is that the sign from the heavens above? I mean, we got ourselves a fantastic, I mean, then you start seeing a lot of highlights and stuff like, or not highlights, but like little clips of plays here and stuff like that from training camp. And he's catching some passes. Let me tell you what, he caught one. I don't remember who it was today because you can't really see it, but Daniel Jones fired a freaking rocket. Let me tell you what, somebody's on the sideline getting a video of it, and Hyatt, I can't even. Tough to say. It was, I guess, an outbreak and route, But I mean, the video is like showing like the line of scrimmage and all of that, which is probably like 20, 30 yards into the background, and you can kind of see Daniel Jones looks like, standing there eyeing the sideline where Hyatt's going to be breaking out to, and you see him, he throws the ball and it's just like on a laser. You know what I mean? You're like, who's catching that freaking thing? And all of a sudden, into the frame comes Hyatt, gets his feet, pretty much stops, bam, just bam, catches it. I don't know who it was. One of the defensive backs for the Giants gave a heck of an effort, all out dive, head first, trying to knock the ball away. Looks like he just missed it too. But I'll tell you what, man. I mean, the rocket was impressive enough, but then, I mean, Hyatt just bam, just catching it like that, getting both feet in bounds, steps out of bounds, and he's like, I don't know, he held the ball out and he dropped it or whatever it was, but it was just, man. But I mean, you start seeing stuff like this. I mean, Jalen Hyatt reportedly broke an NFL record at training camp. It's like, what? Former Tennessee football and current New York Giants rookie wide receiver Jalen Hyatt has been on a tear so far at training camp. Ever since New York's training camp started last Wednesday, Hyatt has been a walking highlight reel. Well, let's not get, I don't know. Who is this? Rocky Top Insider? Jack Foster. Well, I mean, let's not get that carried away. A human highlight reel. Ever since Wednesday, he had a little slow start, so I'm not sure if this person's been, a little slow start. I mean, I know after the first day or so, I think like the only thing I heard much about him or anything was I think he had like a jet sweep or sweep or something, where he ran the ball into the end zone. But I mean, it wasn't, but I mean, he's starting to come on. Let me tell you what. But I said over the weekend, Hyatt reportedly set an NFL record by running 24 miles an hour. Now, I don't know if is it 24 even? Is it 23 something and they rounded it up to 24? Was it 24-2 when he rounded it down to 24? It just says 24. Because it says the previous NFL record for the fastest speed recorded was held by former Chiefs and current Dolphins wide receiver, obviously, Tyreek Hill, who ran 23.2 miles per hour in 2016. I mean, it says NFL Rookie Watch here. This looks like it was like they tweeted this out on Twitter, I guess. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it said Jalen Hyatt reportedly recorded a speed of 24 miles per hour today. Giants training camp. Said Usain Bolt's top speed in history of his career was 27.8 miles per hour. Guy almost ran 28 miles an hour. I mean, that's just freaking crazy. Absolutely freaking crazy. It says Hyatt has been reportedly shredding both the Giants' first and second team's defense with his speed. And it says the NFL has its new fastest wide receiver. So, I mean, Tyreek Hill did that. But, I mean, it's like, back in 2016, reportedly. I mean, there's been some guys, obviously, of course, getting into the 22s, obviously a lot in the 21s and all that. But this was kind of funny. Giants quarterback Daniel Jones had told reporters to ask Hyatt if he had touched 24 miles per hour on Sunday. When asked, Hyatt was not 100% on if he reached the mark on Sunday, but the former Vol did mention he had hit the mark a few times already. 24 miles an hour. Said Art Stapleton. Said, I was interviewing rookie Jalen Hyatt when Daniel Jones walked by. And Daniel Jones said, ask him if he hit 24 miles per hour today. Jones joked. So Art did. So I asked him, and Hyatt said he didn't know yet today, but he told me that the GPS has tracked him as fast as 24 mile per hour a few times so far in camp. A few times. In addition to his speed, Hyatt has been turning heads by making various plays. Yes, during camp. A collection of Hyatt highlights from his first handful of days of training camp are below. Yes, yeah. Is this the one? That's not it. No, that's not it. Maybe this is it here. Yeah, Daniel Jones fires a laser and Hyatt, bam. I mean, yeah, that was the one. He turns around, drops the ball. There's a ref standing right there, kind of going like this, marking where he went out of bounds at. I mean, Daniel Jones from like the 35 fires it down, and he just gets his feet in. He snags it, gets his feet in around the 4-yard line. I mean, holy crap. Unbelievable. Says the third-round pick is one of the most popular storylines, not only given the Giants training camp so far, but across the entire NFL as well. Well, all right, I don't know. But if Hyatt continues to impress and find his way in the top 3 at wide receiver I did, with them, it doesn't have to be the top 3 because they're rotating guys in there. I mean, if you got, say, let's go crazy here. I'd say you got Slayton, you got Hodgins, and just say Campbell is out there. Opening kickoff, right, against the Dallas Cowboys, Jones under center, right? And just let's go a little crazy here. You got Thomas, right? All right, let's say Azudu winds up getting in there. He winds up being the man at the left guard. You got John Michael Schmitz at center. You got Brett Glowinski, the right guard. You got Evan Neal there, right? You got Daniel Jones, right? Of course, we're gonna have Waller. You got Saquon behind him, and then let's have the threesome out. All right, let's just throw the first 3 guys out on the field for opening snap. All right. The freaking place is going bananas. The cameras are shaking and everything like that. We're expecting big things from it. We're going to have Paris Campbell in the slot. We're going to have Hodgins and we're going to have Slayton. Right. That doesn't mean, that Hyatt, isn't going to make the top three. I mean, he's probably not going to make the top three. I mean, you never know, especially with the speed. But, they're rotating guys in there. They're going to situational football. They're going to try to get certain guys and certain, they're going to set up a wall or something across the middle or whatever, draw a bunch of, they're going to do play action to Saquon, right? Keep the linebackers frozen for just a split second. Sometimes that's all you need, right? The little play action to Saquon, hold the linebackers. Then you're going to have Waller, running whatever 10, cutting in the middle, drawing maybe some attention from the safeties. We got this freaking basketball forward cutting in the middle here. Ball might be going to him, and all of a sudden, might have Hyatt just taking off down the field, right? So it's all going to be all situational and everything. And I'm sure whoever they have, if they're going to dress maybe 6 guys on six wide receivers on Sunday. They're getting everybody in there. Everybody's getting in there. Yeah. Rocky Top. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, Rocky Top. Okay. All right. Ronaldo Nehemiah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't work out too well, but I mean, he did the hurdles. I think he did the hurdles, but he was fast too. I mean, he wasn't horrible, but he wasn't like a Bullet Bob Hayes either or something like that. I mean, as far as success, he was fast, but I think he did the hurdles, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, hey, man, speed will get you, I mean, that's the one thing. You make one little mistake and the guy's past you. And we know with Daniel Jones, right, is that, he's got deep ball accuracy, right? Obviously the offensive line has to hold up for just a split second or whatever. But, I don't know, 24 miles an hour. That's pretty freaking crazy. And especially, what was it, 20? Was it 23? Was it? I'm so stupid. I just read this damn article and I forgot already. Was it 23-2? Is that what I read? Yeah, 23-2. So he's almost. I mean, like, I mean, I don't. It's like, is that possible? Almost like a full mile per hour faster than Tyreek Hill. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just makes you kind of wonder. Is that starting? As I said, once I scratching your head, is like, is this guy like a? I said I don't want to jinx nobody. Go out, go all stalk wild crazy here and everything. But it's like, man, is this guy going to be a heck of a steal in the third round? It's like, I mean, because speed is, makes you almost kind of wonder, how did this guy get to the third round? But we only had 5 practices so far. We don't want to be jumping too far ahead. But then, of course, unfortunately, I don't know, J.C. Hassenauer. I don't know how. You feel horrible for the guy, because the guy obviously he was not guaranteed no spot or anything like that, but he was able to going to be competing for a roster spot in the final 53. And I guess maybe even worse came to worse, somebody like him might be decent, maybe to try to get, they could have maybe kept him on the practice squad or whatever, but somehow he wound up touring his tricep, and he's out. Looks like he's going to be out for the season. He's got to get surgery. Giants will be out one of their offensive linemen for a while after it was revealed on Monday morning by head coach Brian Daboll that J.C. Hassenauer had suffered a serious injury. Jordan Renan said will be out long-term with a torn tricep injury that will require surgery. The Alabama product suffered the injury during practice on Sunday. I don't know. I mean, it's like no contact. I wonder what he did. Hassenauer, who was signed to a 1-year deal by the Giants earlier this offseason, was in the mix for a roster spot at center before the injury. It also kind of makes you, was he going to be able to make the final 53? I mean, because you obviously had Bredesen, who could probably play center as well too, but you have the flexibility with Bredesen playing guard or center, and then of course we have Michael Schmitz, he's making the final 53. So I said, prior to joining Hassenauer spent the previous 3 years with the Steelers, where he started in 7 of the 45 contests he played in, playing both guard and at center too. So I guess he's got some flexibility there as well too. So it's just a shame. I mean, he'll be back next year. I mean, obviously I think the Giants just signed, for the 1 year. So, I mean, if he comes back and he keeps working on his craft and all that, the Giants can certainly always maybe wind up bringing the guy back. But it's just such a shame. I mean, horrible, horrible, horrible. I mean, and the other things too is that you wind up, like non-contact. It's like, what did he do? It's a shame. Yeah, I know. It's it's like, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The depth needs depth, which brings me to my next thing here, because of course the Giants brought in 4 offensive linemen. Right, I got this from Giants Wire. Giants worked out 4 offensive linemen on Monday, but don't be getting too stock wild crazy about any of these guys. See, because don't forget, and I when the final cuts are, it's not the way it was in the past. This year they changed it, right? This year it's going from 90 to 53. So you're going to have 37 guys. You're going to have over 1,000 guys, right, hitting the open market. But the thing is, if you sign one of those guys, you have to put them on your 53. You can't go out and let's take this guy, we'll take this guy and this guy, and we'll throw them on the practice squad. No, for what I was hearing, if whatever, I forgot what the number was, like 1,200 guys that just hit the market, right? If you get one of them, you got to put them on your 53. So long coaches meetings, yeah. So, but I mean, see, the thing was, way it was in the past is you have like whatever your first preseason game, you go down from whatever 90 to 75, or you chunk it down, into 3, right? So after the final game, right, that's when you go down to the final 53. But the thing is that so if you lose a couple offensive linemen right away, well, in the past there'd be that first cut, so you're losing, say, 15 guys, you go from whatever it was, I think 90 down to 75. So if you got 32 teams, each one's losing 15 guys. That's like, what is that, 480 guys all of a sudden, boom, right? Hit the market. So you can maybe grab one of them, put them on your team at the time, right? So I mean, if you wind up losing the center or something, you can just scour the market and maybe try to get one of those guys in. But that's not the way it's going to be. It's going to go from 90, boom, down to 53. So, because of the shorter preseason, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because they had the shorter preseasons, like it was like last year, and it didn't happen. They were talking about that on Big Blue Kickoff Live today. P-Dot, Paul Dottino was mentioning about, and a caller called in and was talking about Bryce Ford Wheaton too. Roster construction will be harder. Yeah. Oh yeah. But they were talking about, I think a caller called in and mentioned, because we got so many receivers, Shep came back, right? We brought Cole Beasley in, and Cole Beasley's been looking really good. Really good. And P-Dot also mentioned, I mean, P-Dot's very fair. I mean, if you cut the dude open, he's bleeding blue. There ain't no red blood in that guy. You know what I mean? But he's very fair as far as marking stuff and grade and all that and everything. So, I mean, he's like a kid in a candy store. He loves training camp and to see all of that stuff. So, but he said so far, after the first, because they had to practice this morning. The fifth practice was this morning. So Big Blue Kickoff Live, Lance Meadow and P-Dot did the show this afternoon, I guess like 1 o'clock or whatever it was. So it was after the fifth training camp, day of training camp. So P-Dot said, they were talking about the wide receivers, and he was like, I tell you what, I've counted, I mean, it's early on, and he's trying to keep, I don't understand, don't get too stock wild crazy and all and everything, but he's like, I've counted so far after 5 days. He said, what he said, I've counted 2 drop passes so far. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. 2 after 5 days, right? The ball's not hitting the ground. If the ball's hitting the ground, it's because maybe it's getting tipped away or the ball's overthrown or something like that. But these receivers are catching the freaking ball. But one of the people called in and mentioned about, what about the Bryce Ford Wheaton? He's probably. I mean, I'd be shocked if this guy makes the final 53. But you can see the potential there. And it's like, so are the other teams out there too, right? So it's like, the Giants just going to lose them because they can't, they're going to let him go. And other teams out there are going to have an opportunity. He's going to be one of those 1,200 people that just gets let go, right? And so another team could just pluck him. But they were saying that there's a possibility that, he might be able to, or P-Dot was trying to, kind of calm us down a little bit. Or there's a chance he might wind up making it through and getting on the Giants practice squad, because what he was saying is that if after the Giants get the cut down to 53 and you get this guy and you put him on your roster, he's a rookie, right? He doesn't know your system. He can run routes and blah, 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 blah. What I mean? But if you pick him up after the Giants let him go, you got to put him on your 53. And, it's a little bit of a gamble. The thing is, what Paul Dottino was kind of saying is the Giants gave him a little bit of a contract as like a signing bonus to be with the Giants. He knows the Giants. He knows their system. He knows the coaches. They know him. This all familiar. He knows the other wide receivers. He knows all the quarterbacks. He knows everything and everything like that. So there's the familiarity. There's the comfort of being with the Giants, being in the system and all of that. Instead of going out and trying to learn a whole new system, a whole bunch of new plays and all that, he said there's a chance, he might wind up making his way back to the practice squad. So, which is kind of hopeful, but that's always. Paul Dottino was kind of going over that. But the same thing, like with the offensive linemen, there's a lot of good offensive linemen out there right now on rosters who are going to be cut. It's just let go. As I said, the good thing about it is, there's a lot of good offensive linemen that are going to be let go. The problem is if one of them, you have to sign them, right? And you have to put them on your 53. So that's there's the good and the bad to it. But injuries are going to wind up happening. Unfortunately. Oh, because Marcus McKeithen, he's still out too. So they were bringing in these 4 guys. Right. And I said, some of these guys here. Oh, yeah. P-Dot. Paul Dottino. That's his rap name. P-Dot. Yeah, he's good. I tell you what, I think the guy's like 70 years old. I think he's around there, somewhere around there. I mean, he's sharp as a tack. Let me frickin' tell you what, boy. Sharp as a tack. But they brought these guys in, as I said, there's not something you want to be getting overly. One of them they brought in was a Chance Lytle. He was from Duke. 6'7", 330 pounds. All right. Now he hasn't played in the pros yet at all. Okay. I mean, what did he played left guard and right guard for Duke this past season. See, actually, and he was a transfer from Colorado. They brought him in. Okay. Let's see, where did he play? Let's see, with Colorado. Where did he play? Colorado. He played right. Oh, all right. Oh, wow. A little flexibility here. So Colorado in 2021, Chance Lytle, one of the guys that the Giants worked out. He played right tackle in one season, 2021. Right tackle, left guard. Yeah, well, he played everywhere but center. He played right tackle, right guard, and left guard. So he's got some flexibility to him. All right. But I mean, at Duke, he graded out of this. Let's see what he did. His past season at Duke, he played 773 snaps. He graded out of 58.5. According to Pro Football Focus, that's all I'm going by. So, I mean, nothing super spectacular. They also brought in Sean Harlow. All right. Let's see, the past season, he was at Arizona. I mean, he graded out of 4, according to Pro Football Focus, once again. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, well, I checked out all his tape, and I'll tell you what, the guy's got some promise in here. I'm not going to say that at all. He graded out of 43.2, according to Pro Football Focus. This past season, he played 228 snaps for the Arizona Cardinals. 147 pass blocking snaps, 81 run blocking snaps. He graded out 43.2. He graded out a 28.6 pass blocking grade. The first game of the season, Kansas City and the Cardinals, he played left guard. He started. He played 65 snaps. His pass blocking grade was a 0. The next 2 games he played in, he passed by. He rebounded. He graded out a 79.2 against Carolina. Against the Eagles, he played 69 snaps in week 5. He graded at 79.5 pass blocking grade. He graded at 62.3. But overall, his run blocking grade was a 48.8. His pass blocking was a 28.6. And his offensive grade was a 43.2. So then they brought in Jimmy Murray. And he played in 2018. He played 12 snaps. That's all he's played in the pros. Jimmy Murray. I don't know how many teams he's been on, practice squads or whatever. 2018 for Kansas City, he was on 12 field goal blocking snaps. That's all he's been on. Let's see here. Let's go to NCAA. He was Holy Cross. Wow. Okay. That's special teams. Let's see. Can we get offense? Let's see what he's got here. Offense. Anything for offense? Wow. The only thing they got for him, that's weird. For this guy, they brought in Jimmy Murray. All they have, Pro Football Focus. In 2017, he played for Holy Cross, the Holy Cross Crusaders. He got drafted in he was undrafted free agent by the Kansas City Chiefs. But in 2017, they have him here. He played in 86 snaps. That I don't know if that's his whole career or what. He did grade out at a 76, though, but he only played in 86 snaps, according to Pro Football Focus. So, once again, if the guys were that, going to be that good or whatever, the chances are they'd be on a team. Then they got Tommy Kramer. Is another guy they brought in. Let's see, offense. He was last. Let's see here. He was with Detroit in 2021. All right. Not even 2022. Let's see, 2021, 2022. Did they have anything for him? No, nothing. All they have, let me see, special teams and even special teams, snaps. Nope. All I got here from this guy, Tommy Kramer, they brought in in 2021 for Detroit. He played 238 snaps. He graded out of 55.5. So, I mean, they're bringing in, guys, but we got P. Papa, O'Hara, Burke. We're all in good hands. Yes, you're in good hands with Allstate. But, I mean, the guys that they brought in, these 4 guys they brought in are, not going to be, I'd have a hard time believing any of these guys are going to want to make the roster, but that's why you bring them in to see what they got. I have heard though, Phillips is, Patty Traina was talking high on Mr. Phillips. Said he was she thinks he might be because you're going to need a swing tackle, right? So you're going to have, obviously, you'll have Neal, and you got Andrew Thomas, but she's kind of thinking that maybe Phillips might wind up being the extra tackle on the squad. And she also brought up too, because she's there, there, right? She's interviewing some of these guys or whatever, you know what I mean? But she's there all the time, you know. And she also mentioned that there were times they put him in at guard as well too. So we'll have to wait and see. Worth a look with the injuries. You know what I mean? So Phillips might have an upper hand as far as being at least one of the 6 linemen. You know, well, you got to probably think it's going to probably be, you know, you're looking at Andrew Thomas, right? And then you got to figure probably Bredesen and Ezeudu, right? Michael Schmitz, and then you got Glowinski, and you got Neal, and you'll have Phillips, right? Because the thing with that, because now with Phillips, right? Phillips can play tackle or guard, right? So that's 7. So I don't know if they're going to have 7. Possibly, I guess probably maybe 8 offensive linemen they'll bring. So you're not quite sure who maybe the other person might wind up being. But I mean, because with Bredesen's you got there, he can play guard or center. Obviously, Ezeudu, you know, guard. You have Glowinski guard. So you have multiple people who can play guard. You have multiple people who can play center, and you'll have at least 3 different people who can play tackle. So maybe not quite sure who maybe the 8th guy might be. I don't know if Lemieux's gonna. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't get injured like he has past couple seasons. But Patty Trainee was talking about Phillips looking pretty good, so that was good to hear. Good to hear for him. She also brought up Jack Anderson too, but I said, but the guys, when they wind up getting let go, you know, after the final roster cut down, there's going to be a ton of guys out there the Giants can obviously look at and bring in. But if they do bring them in, they got to put them under 53. Yeah, Zuda can be important. I mean, especially for him, his flexibility too. You know, it doesn't look like McKeithen's going to be. He's still, you know, he's still obviously still injured. You know, but I mean, Ezeudu, I know, like I read last year that like on different, he played different positions on the same drive when he was in college. You know, like he would be like whatever, left guard, and then like the next play, he's lining up at left tackle. You know what I mean? So we're talking flexibility here too. You know what I mean? So, you know, and as I said, once I've said this, I don't know how many times, you take him in the 3rd round, you know, it's not like, oh, we need some good quality depth. No, you think the guy can help your ball club. You know, he should be on the final 53, you know. Oh yeah. I mean, I read that. I'm like, yeah, but yeah, apparently on the same drive. I mean, you know, multiple times, like he'll be guard one play. I mean, not switching them back and forth every other play, but I mean, like on say a 10-play drive, there might have been like maybe 1 or 2 plays. Maybe they put him at tackle, but then most of the time he was at guard, you know what I mean? But he did, I'm like, hey, he played different positions on the same drive. Wow. That's, you know, I'm sure it's been done before, but that's kind of odd. Can he punt? Oh, hey, well, I'll tell you what, if they can punt, you know, we can save ourselves a roster spot, right? Oh, man. All right. And then what the heck was it? Here we go. The day 5 recap. Top plays. Now, tomorrow, let's not forget, tomorrow they're putting on the pads. Putting on the pads tomorrow, right? And then I think, what is it, next Tuesday and Wednesday, I think they said, that's when the Giants will be in Detroit going up against the Lions, right? So that'll give the Giants some spirited competition going on there. But so we got the day 5 recap. So tomorrow is going to be a little more different because they're going to, obviously, this is the 5. It goes like the 5-day acclimation period, I think it's called. So the first 5 days, you can't touch anybody, you know. Ooh, all right. Don't want to touch anybody. It's only football, right? But so after the 5th day, you know, that's when it's going to start getting a little testy tomorrow. Take off the Huggies. That's it. That's it. But So, according to what? Giants.com. All right, they got Jalen Hyatt, Nick McLeod highlight the plays of the day here. Tuesday has been circled because it's the first practice in pads, so that's tomorrow. So, but Monday didn't disappoint as an appetizer. So, without further ado, let's get into the highlights from the jam-packed day of training camp. Touchdowns. Daniel Jones threw 3 touchdowns during team periods, one apiece to wide receivers Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, and Daniel Bellinger. What was it? Paul Dottino is also praising Paris Campbell too. He praised. He said Cole Beasley is really good. He said if the ball gets to his hands, he's catching it. You know, he also praised Paris Campbell too. He said Paris Campbell's really looking good too. If there were in full game mode with live contact, the latter. Daniel Bellinger, meaning the latter would have been a good battle to the end zone with Xavier McKinney as the tight end and safety met near the goal line on a bang play. So Daniel Jones threw a touchdown pass to Daniel Bellinger, but if there was contact, Daniel Bellinger caught the ball either maybe just before the goal line or whatever, so he may not have gotten in because Xavier McKinney might have maybe want to tackle him. But Bellinger also hooked up with backup Tyrod Taylor, who shook off a blitz coming off the corner for a score. Running back Saquon Barkley rushed up the middle for a short touchdown. Rookie wide receiver Jalen Hyatt looks to be getting more and more comfortable at his first NFL training camp. And I'll tell you what, the guy without question is not, it's not failing for self-confidence, shall we say. And I'll tell you what, the more he plays, the more he sees, I can do this. I can do, what I mean? The more confidence you're going to get. And I'll tell you what, you give a young stud like that some confidence, boy. I'll tell you what, man. That'd be great if he just burns the Eagles for like 3 touchdowns the first time, or the Cowboys the first time, like especially beats Trevon Diggs. Man, I'd love that. Trevon Diggs stepping up on him and Hyatt just burns him deep like for 3 touchdowns on opening day. Man, that'd be awesome. I'd love it. But Dable said he's an athletic man who had long speed and short space quickness, which is very important too. He's done a good job since he's been here. He's got a long way to go, but we're just trying to bring him along day by day. It's basically each day they're trying to put maybe a little bit more on his plate. That's what he said. If he can handle it. All right. So Taylor also threw a touchdown pass to don't forget about David Sills. Now, there's no way in heck he's making, if he does make the final 53, that's probably because we had 5 or 6 wide receivers go down to injury. I mean, David Sills, every year he's there. Every year he winds up hanging around. But I can't see him making the final 53 here. Let's see. Tommy Sweeney also caught a touchdown pass. I haven't heard much at all about Tommy Sweeney. I heard some good things, obviously, about Lawrence Cager, too, which is cool. Defensive back Nick McLeod had a big day, intercepting 1 pass among a handful of other pass breakups. I was claimed off of waivers from Buffalo just 11 days before the start of last season. McLeod's done a very decent job for the Giants. You know what I mean? McLeod played in a career-high 14 games in 2022 and made his first 8 NFL starts. He broke up 7 passes to go along with 1.5 sacks. So, if he doesn't make if he doesn't obviously make the starter, as maybe as a safety, right? If he makes the 53, he'd be some very good depth for the Giants without question. Dable said, I would say he's been a very flexible player. Meaning of McLeod, not just here, but in Buffalo, Dable said. He has played safety and he has played the nickel. He has also played corner. I mean, once again, flexibility is huge. He's been a special teams player. So again, it goes back to the more you can do, right? He's kind of moved all around. I'll probably expect similar throughout camp, but he's a smart player. It's a benefit when you can have a guy who can move in a lot of different spots. Absolutely. Top plays, rookie Deonte Banks and fellow cornerback Adoree Jackson each had a pass breakup. Cool. Jamison Crowder, right, who finally got him back on the field. The veteran wide receiver who was activated off the non-football injury list on Sunday wowed the crowd with the one-handed catch, plucking the football right out of the air. I mean, it's, then you don't forget about him either, right? In addition to his touchdown, Campbell made 2 difficult catches, leaping for one and snagging another in between 2 defenders as he fell to the ground near the sideline. Second-year outside linebacker Kayvon Thibodeau had a nice cat and mouse game with Jones during 11-on-11 work. All right. As I said, I mean, with Campbell, 2 difficult cat. I've heard nothing but good things about him so far. Inside linebacker Micah McFadden, another member of the 2022 draft class, also got a pressure on a play. All right. Yeah, so I mean, it's nice. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of good on the offense, which is cool. Yeah, Nick McLeod. Don't sleep on him. That's gonna be a very, very interesting situation that they have there at safety, because you got McKinney, and then who's going to be next to him, right? But the thing is, like with the Wink Martindale, it's just because Pinnock is out there, the first snap of the season, right? You got McKinney and Pinnock. That doesn't mean that or when they get into a passing situation or whatever, it doesn't mean on second down that Pinnock, McLeod, and McKinney won't be out there, right? We got the 3, I guess 3, right? Yeah, 3. What was the name of that group? Run DMC, right? Run DMC. Well, we got 3 MCs. We got McLeod, McCain, and McKinney at safety, right? So don't we could have Run DMC out there in the back, you know what I mean? So. And I said, and also was it John Smeltz also said there was times out there the Giants even had 4 safeties out there. So, so I mean, we have a lot of good, solid competition out there. Wink will mix it up. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. So I mean, just because one guy's out there, right, the first snap doesn't mean the second snap that we won't have 3 safeties on the field, right? But it's going to be interesting. But tomorrow they finally put the pads on, and we're going to get some head knocking going on. Let's see if we have our first fight, because nothing gets you fired up more than beating up on the same guy play after play after play. And it's hot and sweaty, and you're tired and you're dirty and all that stuff. And it makes it difficult just beating up on the same guy. So we may not get something maybe the first day, but a few days in, you might get some tempers flaring, especially when it's 70 guys going up against the same guys over and over and over. And, but so tomorrow, I'll be back in tomorrow. I hope we'll have a bunch of stuff. Save the, I know. Yeah, you don't want to get, the thing is, a lot of these guys, unfortunately, I mean, some of these guys, I mean, obviously some of them are, some of them are, fighting for the roster spot. I mean, you got a lot of guys. I mean, especially, Ashawn Robinson, just throwing defensive lineman out there. Is he going to be ready for the beginning of the season? Is he going to be a couple weeks? Is he? I mean, if that's the case, then you got Leo Line, Sexy Dexy, and you got Nacho, right? Right, and Vernon Butler. So he's out for the season, right? So DJ Davidson, who's going to make the other, Ryder Anderson, right? Jordan Riley, so some of these guys, that's where some of the stuff really starts getting a little, when you got these guys fighting for a roster spot, and there's a lot of competition at safety, right? Middle linebacker, cornerback, and then I said, if Ashawn's going to be, hopefully, they know better than I do, starting in first game of the season. So if you can count on those 4 guys, maybe they'll have a 5th interior defensive lineman. That's quite a bit, but I'll have to wait and see. Yep, 10:30. Yep, we'll be back 10:30 tomorrow. Oh, yeah. All right, so it's been 49 minutes, so thank you. Whoever spent any time watching me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate it. Be back again tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, 10:30, and we'll be talking about live football, folks. So as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!